Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. Now, I have not done a video in quite some time. It's been 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. I mean, I've done a couple of unboxings, but I didn't do a Thursday video last week, and I didn't do one this week. This is Saturday. So this is the video that I should have made on Thursday. But I've just been a bit, well, let's just say pattern fatigue is real, right? I have a severe case of pattern fatigue right now. Now, for me, pattern fatigue is not when you don't like the project that you're working on, right? There have been projects that I have started that maybe weren't for me, that maybe I was doing for someone else, or maybe I chose fabrics that I ended up not liking, or I chose a technique that I didn't like. That's not what I'm talking about here. For me, pattern fatigue is when you choose a project that you're really excited about, really gung-ho about. You get some yarn that you're happy to work with for whatever reason, and you start going, and at some point, you just don't want to pick that thing up no more. And that's where I'm at right now. I have been trying to finish this blanket for 2 weeks. Since May 4th, I've been trying to, may the 4th be with you. I've been trying to finish this project since May 4th. And I still have probably 8 hours left of work on this thing. I am talking about my star blanket. I finished the 6th repeat, and I decided to do a 7th because I was looking at the amount of yarn that I had left, and I was like, if I do a 7th repeat, I can really use up most of this yarn. Like, this yarn will be gone, and I won't have to deal with it anymore. And that's like huge, because we're talking about, let's see, 5, 10, like 15 to 20 skeins of yarn. It was a significant amount of yarn that'll be gone, and I was happy about that. So I was like, okay, well, we'll start around 7. And I had already been working all day on the 4th. I had been working all day on round 6. So I had spent hours crocheting to finish round 6. And then I started round 7. I don't know if I started it that day or the next day or something like that, but I got started, and I got 3 rows in and realized that I made a mistake. I made a mistake, and I was going to have to frog the project to fix it. And it was so much. It was like half a skein of yarn that I had crocheted that I had to rip out. And as you're ripping out that yarn, you're having to manage the yarn and get it wound back up, and which took some time. First, I had to find the mistake, right? I had to find the mistake. And before I even did all of that, I had to do a lot of weighing, right? I had to do a lot of weighing my yarn to make sure that I was going to have enough of each color to finish. That was one. So that took some time. And I had to figure out what order I wanted to put the stripes in to make sure that I had enough yarn, because I've got varying amounts of each color. So I had to be kind of strategic about things. And yeah, that took some time. I probably spent weighing, measuring, figuring, calculating, auditioning, an hour or 2 figuring that stuff out. But I don't mind that. That's kind of what I like. It's kind of like quilt math, so I kind of like doing that. So I didn't mind that really. But I got going, and then I realized there was a mistake because the math wasn't mathing as I was crocheting, and I was like, I did something wrong. So then I had to find the mistake, and it's difficult when you're dealing with something this large, right? So I had to find the mistake, and then once I found the mistake, then I had to rip out all the yarn to get back to that mistake. And like I said, it was a lot of yarn. It was a lot. A whole lot. Sorry, my charging cable for my phone touched my leg, and I wasn't sure what that was at first. And so it kind of scared me there for a second. Anyway, so yeah. And then once I did that, it really just kind of took the wind out of my sails, having to take all of that out. Because we're talking about taking out 2 to 4 hours of crochet work that I had to take out. And it was just so demoralizing. And I have not been able to get back with it since. I'm going to try to work on it tonight. I'm going to try. But it just took all the joy out of because I've been so careful with this blanket to not make mistakes. There was one mistake that I made, but I was able to correct it in a successive round without having to go back and frog. I was able to correct that mistake. And sometimes you can correct it that way. But this mistake was not one that I could correct in that way. I think I made... No, I take that back. I think I made 2 mistakes in this blanket that I was able to correct in that way. But this one was not correctable. It was not. I had to frog it. And I don't know. It was just so demoralizing to have to do that. It really hurt my feelings. I think the last time I showed you guys this blanket, I don't remember where I was in it. I don't remember. I don't want to lose my yarn. This is, because all of this blue, well, this final round of blue here, all of that had to come out because the mistake was made in the brown section. So I had already done all of this blue all the way around the blanket, and then I had started single crochet. I started the following round also in blue. So yeah, so I haven't gotten very far since you guys last saw it because of the mistakes that I made and having to rip out rows. Sucks. But I do really want to finish this project. And it was tempting to do something else, but I'm not allowing it. I need to finish this blanket. So I've not allowed myself to work on anything else. So I normally just sit there and look at it. Like I'll take the project and I'll take it to, my bedroom with me to watch a movie or something. And I just look at the bag. Sometimes I'll take the project out of the bag. I'll take the crochet hook out and I'll just look at it. I'll just look at it and just leave it. But I'm going to try to work on it tonight. So this is still in progress. I'm working on it. But all I have left of the yarn is this little ball of blue that I had to frog out. All this yarn here on the outside, that was also yarn that had to be frogged. So I have this left and I have this left. So certainly I have the most of the left of blue. I've got a little bit of this left. This is about half a skein. So this is enough for 1 round, but not 2. It could maybe be enough for 1 round of double crochet and 1 round of single crochet, maybe. But I'll have to weigh the yarn as I work. And this, I know I have enough left for 2 rounds. This is done. These 2 are both donezo. There's not enough of either one of these to use in this blanket at all. I thought about taking my scraps and making some fringe. It is a 6-pointed star. I could have 6 little fringe balls, but I'm not the biggest fan of fringe, but we'll see when the blanket is done. So this is all done. I had 2 skeins total of this. No, of this. I had 2 skeins of this total, and it's all gone except for this little bit. And I forgot how many skeins of this I had. Was it 3? Let me check. I'm curious. Let's see. This was Mary Maxim worsted yarn in turquoise. No, I take it back. I had 5 of these and 5 of these. I had 5 of each of these. And this is all I have left of this. I had 2 of these, and this is all I have left. I had 3 of these, and this is all I have left. And I had 5 of these, and this is all I have left. So I'm just going to try to focus on the fact that I'm going to try to focus less on the project itself and more on how much yarn I've used and, you know, that kind of thing. And I have a little bit of this Red Heart Soft in the color navy. This is going to be for my border. So I think I'm saving this for the border because I don't know if there'll be enough of this to do something else, another round, and then do the border. And the last thing on earth I want to have to do is buy more yarn for this blanket. So the idea is to use it all. And I know that if I just use this to finish the rounds, I'll have enough of this to finish the border. So that's where I'm at with that. Not much, not far. I did not get an opportunity to work on this because I spent all my time just looking at the blanket. Plus, I forgot what May means. I forgot May is end of grade exams. I forgot that May is end of school concerts. May is prom. May is the end of year dance. May is award ceremonies and graduation ceremonies. So there have been a bit more to do. There's been more to do because of that. And then also my oldest daughter still doesn't have a car. So I've been taking her to look at cars and taking her back and forth to work and that type of thing. So I've just been a little busier than usual. And again, I've been telling y'all, work has been busier than usual. Thursday and Friday were nice, easy work days for me. Not too bad. I ended up taking 2 half days because my schedule was a little bit lighter, but it's about to pick up for Monday. And I can't work ahead really. I have a 3-day window in which to work things, so I can't work them 5 days ahead. I got to work them within that 3-day window. So there was stuff that I could not do on Friday. I have to do it on Monday. It's not, if I do it on Friday, it's considered out of compliance. So I have to do it Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So I think I'm gonna go into the office on Monday, since it's gonna be a busier day. We're also supposed to have a team meeting on Monday, so why not go into the office? So I think I'm gonna go in on Monday. The only other thing I've worked on is my work blanket. It has come a ways since you guys last saw it. The last time I showed you this blanket, I don't even know which is the right side. This. Nope, this. So the last time I was still finishing this color work section here. So that's done. And then I did this section here, and then I did this rib stitch section here, and then this bead stitch section here. So I am a little bit ahead. I was trying to do 1 stripe per week. And so I've done an extra stripe, but only because my gauge does not match the pattern gauge, and I can't get it to match. And it really doesn't matter because I started, when I started this blanket, I was trying to match the gauge. I was crocheting super tight, and I don't even remember what size hook I was using. I've learned a lot since I picked this back up about, keeping track of, your hook size and all that stuff. My gut is telling me I probably used a 4.5. But when I picked this project back up, I didn't know that. And so I started using a 5.5. And then I noticed that it was working up a little too wide. So I dropped down to a 5mm hook. And I have the right width, but my stitches are too tall. So I'm getting the right width, but the height of my stitches is too tall. And I don't feel like changing that. So for certain things, I just did less rows. So on this rib stitch section here, I was supposed to do another 2 rows, but I was already, because they tell you what the stripe should be, what the height of the stripe should be. And in this case, I believe for this blue stripe, it was 2.25. And I was already at 2.25 with just working 4 rows. So if I had done another 2 rows on top of that, it would have just, my blanket's going to end up being too long. Same with this white section here. I was supposed to do, was I supposed to do another set of these? I don't remember. But there was another section where I left out a couple of rows for that same reason. So because I was doing less rows, it made things work up a little quicker. And so I was able to get a little farther. So I just completed stripe number, what stripe number is this? 11, I believe this is stripe 11. Yep, stripe 11. So my goal for next week is going to be to complete stripe 12. That will be worked in this purpley color. It's hard to see in the bag. So this will be the next color up. I've got a little bit left to finish in this bag. This yarn came in cakes. It came in skeins. I chose to wind it into cakes because it just made it easier for me to use. When I'm finished with this, I'll stuff this cake in this bag. It kind of keeps everything together, keeps the yarn from collapsing, and helps me to keep multiple skeins organized. Let's see if you can see in there. No. But I've got, the cappuccino color. I've got the rose. I've got the cream. And this kind of keeps everything clean also. It keeps the yarn clean while I'm using it, while it's out in the world. Okay. Let's pop that back in the bag. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. My daughter, Adrian's been in Georgia literally for the past 3 weeks in a row. He was there last week, he was there the week before last, and he's going to be going back this week. He'll be leaving right after work. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. He'll be leaving right after work and coming back tomorrow night, probably, but it could easily be Monday, because he's off on Monday. But right now he's planning on coming back tomorrow, but we'll see if he makes it or if it ends up being Monday. I'm sorry, for some reason my mouth is so dry. Yeah, so that's really all I've been working on. I haven't really done a lot of crafting at all in the past 2 weeks. Because after that stuff happened on the 4th, it really just took everything from me. And so I do the work project when I have time at work. I worked on it a little bit at home because I took those 2 half days. But that's about it. Yeah, it's been slow crafting. It's been really slow crafting. Incredibly slow. I did not do anything that I said I was going to do. I didn't clean up my space. I didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't do any of it. I did my house chores and stuff like that, but I ain't do none of that. It's cleaning up. But I am doing a live today with Katy, the Greenland quilter, and Janice over at The Right Way. So we'll be doing a live sew today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's in an hour and 20 minutes. So I am going to use the next hour and 20 minutes to organize my space, straighten up a little bit so that I'm ready for the 4:30. So I will put the link in the description in case you guys want to join. We look forward to seeing you there. I will be sewing. I was very productive when we had our last sew, so I'm really looking forward to this one and hoping I can be just as productive this time as I was last time. I'm not sure what I'm going to work on. I know I'm going to be doing open gate projects, but I'm not sure if I am going to work on the larger project or the smaller project from this box or the smaller project from last box. I could probably get both of these done in a live. But honestly, I think what I might do during the live is I think I'm definitely going to get this project pressed and cut. So I'm going to cut all the fabric and get it pressed. This was where we could make this little table topper wall hanging thingy here, or we could do the tote bag. So I think that I'm going to get all of my fabric cut and pressed and cut and then kind of ready to sew, right? Get it ready. And then once it's ready, then maybe I'll move on to the smaller projects, right? Then this is kind of ready to sew, and then I can get these two smaller projects kind of knocked out. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We'll see. Because if I get time, if I straighten up and I have time left over before the live starts, I might just go ahead and press the fabric now. But we'll see. We'll see how all that goes. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I've been busy, but not busy crafting. It seems like I've been busy, but I haven't accomplished anything. Like, somebody make that make sense. Like, I feel like I'm busy, but nothing is getting done. Nothing's getting done. Have we even gone anywhere? I've been trying to go to the movies now for like 3 weeks. Still trying to go see Sinners. The first weekend I was going to go was the weekend that we ended up cooking for my aunt at my grandmother's house. So we were down there on Sunday. And then the following weekend, I was going to go... Was that the weekend after or not? I was going to go Mother's Day weekend. I was going to go on Mother's Day. But then my daughter invited me out to eat for lunch. And it didn't feel right to say no. But honestly, I would have been fine spending Mother's Day just solo dolo. Because I feel like that's not something we get to do a lot, is to just be alone. And like Adrian was out of town. I didn't have to take nobody to work that day. So it would have been a great day to do nothing and just take myself to the movies. But my daughter invited me out. It didn't feel right to say no, so I went. And that was last weekend, right? Mother's Day was last weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers and the adjacent mothers. I know there's a lot of you. I have a lot of mom adjacents in my life. My aunts, I called all my aunts to say Happy Mother's Day because they are like pseudo moms. They kind of helped to raise me. But yeah, let's see what I can get done. I had to do a bunch of like medical stuff too. Like my flexible spending account kind of got, the way that they drafted the money was wrong, and I had to fix it. I had to submit some claims. I had to submit receipts. I had to find receipts. I had to get receipts from doctors. It was, like I said, I've done a lot, but it feels like I've done nothing. I think tonight I'm gonna Maybe I'll get myself something really good to eat tonight. I don't know. I know I'm going to the movies tomorrow, though. I know I'm going to the movies tomorrow. So I have the live show from 4:30 to 7:30. And then maybe I'll go out and get myself something to snack on. Like, I don't know, something. Maybe I'll pick up some sushi or, I don't know. Want a little something different to eat. We don't have a lot of good places to eat, like, that are close to me. Like none. Like none. We don't have any, like, places to sit down and, like, have a good meal other than, like, Ruby Tuesday and the Cleveland Draft House, which is, like, a step below Ruby Tuesday. So it's basically food trucks and fast food. We finally got a Chipotle. I'm not sure if they're open yet, but we finally got one of those. Maybe I'll go get me a Chipotle bowl. Lately, these days, when I want Chipotle, I make my own. It's just time consuming because I make it for the whole house. And I try to have enough for leftovers, which usually involves 5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, probably 10 or 15 limes, probably 20 jalapenos, maybe 10 plum tomatoes, 2 red onions, chipotle peppers, and adobo sauce. Because the kids like it and they eat a lot of it. And usually I want to have enough to eat twice. So it's usually me cooking a lot. So I think that's what I'm going to do. If the Chipotle near me has finally had their grand opening, I think I might go to Chipotle today and get me a little bowl. I'm not going to tell the kids. They can eat the leftovers in the fridge. I ate the leftovers for lunch already. I already ate leftovers today. I don't have to eat leftovers twice. So, yeah. If they're not open, maybe I'll go to Food Lion and like the grocery store and get like a little fruit tray, you know, get some fruit, some fresh fruit, you know, some cut fruit, a little melon, pineapple type thing, watermelon type thing. Maybe I don't know. But I feel like I want some wine and I want some fruit and maybe some Chipotle. So that's how my evening is going to be, and I am determined to go to the movies tomorrow. I'm gonna make it work somehow. I would have gone today. There was a showing at 11:40, and I could have went to that show and still been able to do the live show today at 4:30. But my daughter says, she's like, "Oh, Ma, I got a job interview at 11:45. I need you to take me." So I'm like, okay. So, you know, it's 11:15, and I'm like, I'm dressed and ready to go. And I haven't heard from her. Then it's 11:30. So I text her. And then finally I go knock on her door at 11:40, and I'm like, "Hey, this interview." She's like, "Oh, yeah, they canceled it. They rescheduled it to Wednesday." And I'm like, she was like, "Well, it just happened." She was like, "I woke up to it." But in my head, I'm like, but when you woke up and you saw it, if you would let me know immediately, I still probably could have made it to my movie at 11:40. The theater's only 20 minutes away. So if you had told me even at 11:15 or 11 o'clock, I could have made it to my movie. So I was a little miffed about that. I'm not gonna lie, I was miffed. So yeah, there's that. And I couldn't go see the 340 because then I won't make it for the Zoom show at 4:30. And I am too old to see movies that start at 9 o'clock. Like I'm not the type to really fall asleep. I don't think I'm going to fall asleep in the theater. Like, that's not my concern. I just don't like being out that late. Like, that's late. 9 o'clock is late. And if a movie starts at 8:40, then it's not going to fit. I mean, yeah, I don't know. If a movie starts at 8:40, it's not going to actually start until 9. And then it's not going to be over till 11:15. And I'm getting home at midnight. I don't want that. I'm too old for that. I don't like being out that late. So the latest show that I want to see is the 6:40. Like, that's the latest for me. Now, it's different if it's like a date night and Adrian and I are going out together. That's a little different. But just me going out by myself, like, okay. The only place I would go that time of night is that there's a place around the corner, literally around the corner, literally a 3-minute drive called Draft and Vine. And I might go over there and have a beer, 8 o'clock at night or something like that. Just get out the house, have a beer, come home, that type of thing. But that's it. That's around the corner. The movie theater is 20 minutes away, about a 20-minute drive, because it's technically in another city. It's in Garner. And yeah, I don't like driving at night. My vision is poor at night. And then we've been getting rain lately. And when it's raining and dark, my visibility is just not where I want it to be. And I get anxious. And now I completely understand why my grandparents didn't go out after dark. Makes perfect sense to me now. When I was a kid, I was like, it's only 8 o'clock. But now I'm like, 8 o'clock? What you mean 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock is late. You get older, things change. But anyway, that's it for me. I'm gonna try to do better with these videos, guys. I really am. I'm really gonna try to do better with these. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But that is it for me, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to join me on the live today at 4:30. The link is in the description.